Okay, here we need to find the exact value by using a half angle identity. Here we have a cosine 5 pi over 12. What is the exact value for this? If we remember cosine alpha over 2 equals, here is actually can be positive or negative. So really here, if you want me to add, then here would be positive or negative. Both are possible. But remember, cosine 5 pi over 12 is how many degrees? If you have a calculator here, turn on your calculator. Pi is 180 degrees. So 5 times 180 divided by 12. So you know it's 75 degrees, which is in the first quadrant. So then you know cosine 5 pi over 12 will choose the positive value. So you can ignore this negative. Just put positive in front of it. By this half angle formula, if here is 5 pi over 12, then this side you double it. That will be 5 pi over 12 times 2, which is 5 pi over 6. 1 plus cosine 5 pi over 6 divided by 2. And if we remember, cosine 5 pi over 6 is negative radical 3 over 2. So then you will have the above value, which is denominator is 2, so you may write 1/2. And 1 plus negative radical 3 over 2. Again, negative radical 3 over 2 is cosine 5 pi over 6. Why cosine 5 pi over 6 is negative value? Because cosine 5 pi over 6 is in the second quadrant. You see, here is 75 degrees. If you double that, that's going to be 150 degrees. 150 degrees is in the second quadrant. So you have a negative value here. Now you need to rationalize this one. 1 minus radical 3 over 2. In order to put those two values together, you want to write 1 as 2 over 2. So the numerator will be 2 minus radical 3. That's here. Here, denominator is 2, so you can put 2 out. Outside, the words are 1/2, 2 down on denominator. So you have a 1, 2, another 2 comes out from the parentheses. It's actually 2 squared. There is a radical for the whole quantity. So when you pull this 2 squared out, it's going to be 1/2. 2 squared is done on denominator, okay? And you should have a inside is radical 2 minus radical 3. This will be our candidate, okay? This is, you are done. This is under the condition if you remember the half angle formula. Okay, if you like to see more, then you know I can go back to give you a little bit more sophisticated solution if you like to watch more. Here is a little bit more sophisticated one. It may take you another 8 minutes to watch through. Again, you may start with the double angle formula. Cosine 2 alpha equals 2 cosine alpha squared minus 1, because we know this double angle formula first. And half angle formula is actually from the double angle formula, because if here is alpha, then you double the angle, here will be 2 alpha. So 2 times 5 pi over 12. If here is 5 pi over 12, you just need to solve cosine 5 pi over 12. You will find out this value. So the rest of the step is just solve it. To solve cosine 5 pi over 12, here there was a square. So you want to isolate this cosine 5 pi over 12 squared. Here is minus, you do plus to cancel it. So right hand side is 2 cosine 5 pi over 12 squared. 2 times this quantity. Let me put on the left. And then left hand side is 1 plus cosine 5 pi over 6. I put it on the right. There is a 2 here. Again, you want to isolate cosine 5 pi over 12 squared, everywhere divided by 2. So then left hand side is cosine 5 pi over 12 squared. Right hand side, you have a 1/2 from here, and then 1/2 times this value, which is again negative radical 3 over 2. So you have a cosine 5 pi over 12. You want to choose the square root, you will get that. Let's see how the right hand side works. You want to add 1/2 and cosine 1/2 times negative radical 3 over 2 together. Here 1/2 multiplied by 2 over 2. Because here is 2, here is 2, you want to make essentially the denominator be the same. So 2, 2, got 4, 2 times 2, you got 4, but remember, from squared here, you choose the square root. So then 2, choose the square root, denominator comes out to be 2, because it was 2 times 2, which was 4. Okay, so you have a 2 here. Inside was 2 times 1, which is 2 here, and then subtract radical 3. Again, here was squared. Without a square, you should choose radical sign. Here is more details about what? About how to remember cosine 150 degrees is radical 3 over 2. Why this number is negative radical 3 over 2. Recall cosine 30 is always radical 3 over 2, because here is 30 degrees, so that's 1. If here opposite side is 1, hypotenuse will be 2, adjacent will be radical 3. Radical 3 squared, which is 3, plus 1 squared, which is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, that's 2 squared. So cosine is radical 3 over 2. It's basically right here. This black part is radical 3 over 2. And then this side and this side are symmetric with respect to y-axis. And then this will be what? Negative. So cosine 150 degrees is negative radical 3 over 2. Okay, because this angle is 150, it will gives us this angle is 30. Okay, that's more things if we are interested. But again, you can always remember the half angle formula and do it easily. It's up to you to choose which way you want to go. All right, I will see you next time.